Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Geezers. Welcome back again. I am Wild Bill, your host, and with me, as always, my partner in crime, the founding father of the show out there in cyberspace in his house, Pete Pardo. There he is.
Greetings from Zoom, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We've got another action-packed show for you, looking at some great Marvel comic stuff from the 60s. It's what we've been kind of centering on for the last couple of weeks. And today we're going to take a look at, this is by request from my partner there, Wild Bill. He wanted to show off some classic Tales to Astonish, not to be confused with Astonishing Tales, which came shortly thereafter. But Tales to Astonish, another one of those books meant to be kind of an introduction to two specific characters, all right, where they would share the book. One half would be stories from the one half would be the other. This particular comic started in the late 50s, 1959 exactly. It ran alongside the Tales of Suspense, meant to be highlighting horror, monster, and sci-fi stories. But eventually in 1962, it morphed into a superhero book featuring the Ant-Man. Okay, that's initially who was there. And then eventually Giant Man. Then the Hulk got involved and Sub-Mariner got involved. So it kind of morphed a little bit over its roughly 10-year career, 10-year career. But most people remember it as a launching pad for both the Hulk and Sub-Mariner books, which came afterwards. But it also was a great vehicle for Ant-Man and Giant Man throughout the years. So we're going to show you. We don't have a ton of them, but I do have a bunch. Bill's got some as well. So I'm going to take it back as far back as I have them. And it ran for what, 101 issues, Bill, right? 101?
101, because 102 was the first Hulk when he split off. And then the Sub-Mariner, when he got his own title, they gave him issue number 1. That's how
That's right. And again, Hulk was thrown into this book because initially when they launched the Hulk comic with issue number 1 a couple of years beforehand, didn't really take off, but Marvel really felt strongly about the character. So what they did eventually is they threw him into Tales to Astonish to kind of build him back up again. And you know what? Second time was the charm. So my earliest issue, it's a 12th center, number 69. So again, here he's sharing the book with Giant Man and the Wasp. So there you see,
Is that
of course,
a
the
Kirby
leader.
Hulk?
What's that?
Is that a Kirby Hulk?
That's a Kirby Hulk.
Yeah,
You can tell, right?
So ugly.
It's got that Cro-Magnon look to him, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, his the leader, one of his nemesis, and there you have Giant Man on the bottom here. So that's my earliest one, and that's 69. So one issue later, guess who's now in his own series, joining the Hulk? Prince Namor the Sub-Mariner.
That's a nice, clean copy.
It is, yeah. I got this not too long ago. So, and again, it's Kirby Hulk at the bottom. Let's get real close in there. You can see kind of how bulky and kind of cavemanish looking the Hulk was by Kirby. But, a good clean copy, debut of Sub-Mariner. And he would show up on a lot of the covers, actually, during this run. So here we got number 74. This, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is Bill Everett artwork.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a triangle head. You can
Right.
definitely tell.
And then, Mr. Gene Colan would start drawing. So here we got issue number 76. That's a classic Gene Colan cover art there. And especially this one. This is, unmistakable. Number 78, Gene Colan. Gene always did this kind of like atmospheric backgrounds. Killer. And then perhaps one of my favorite covers of all time. Number 79, Hulk battling Hercules.
That is cool.
Right? I always loved the way that Jack Kirby drew Hercules.
Does it end in a tie?
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Hulk is mortal.
But it's a great battle. It's a great slugfest. Speaking of slugfest, and this is another Gene Colan cover. This is perhaps, and we've talked a lot on this show over the years of how much Namor and Iron Man hated each other. And there's so many great battles between the two, but in my opinion, none is better than issue number 82. This is just a complete slugfest in and out of the water. And in fact, Iron Man actually gets the better of Sub-Mariner here because they fight outside of the water for so long. But this is a Killer fight right
You
there.
know what? Show that book again,
You
please.
got it.
Because I have the reprint of that.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you talk a little more and I'll go pull it and then we'll compare and contrast.
You got it. I'm actually going to open this up because I think it's also worthwhile talking in this particular one about how I believe it was Gene Colan came down with the flu while he was in the middle of putting this story together. So who came in to save the day like midway through but Mr. Jack Kirby. So actually the first page, and I'll take you through this. So here we have first page, it's Gene Colan art, okay, who caught the flu bug after drawing the first 2 pages. So the first 2 pages is all Gene Colan, all right? And then all of a sudden you look and you're like, whoa, wait a second. That looks a little different. That's because Jack Kirby came in at the last hour to help out. Gene Colan's got the flu. Kirby takes over. And I got to tell you, he did a fantastic job because this is just a ridiculous battle that just goes back and forth, back and forth. It's like I said, it's perhaps my favorite Iron Man Sub-Mariner fight. Here we go. Look at this. And,
Nice.
once again, the Master Kirby, just kind of really helping out. Almost to the point where it's like you almost don't even care what the Hulk storyline is in here because nothing's going to match up to that. Remember, I don't know, Bill, you remember this? I don't even remember what his name was. This is the guy fighting the Hulk in this issue. The guy with all the magnetized things. I don't remember his name.
No, I don't think I've ever seen him before.
No, yeah, it's like one of those one and done villains. I don't even remember his name.
I don't remember him in any Hulk issues.
The Boomerang, he's called.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a conflict of interest because the Flash has an enemy called the Boomerang.
Exactly. I tell you, the Flash villain is much better. Cool. Let's see it. See it.
First, I'll show you my shirt.
There you go. A little Star Wars action.
Here it is. And when you showed that cover, I'm like, I know that I have the reprint version of it from Marvel Superheroes.
There you go.
They dedicate. Go ahead, show yours.
So different colors, different backgrounds. That's usually what they did. All right.
Yep.
So take a look at Bill's. Bill talks so the camera will show yours.
Yeah. So the reprint, this is probably like from 1975, and yours is probably from maybe 1965.
Yep.
66. What number was that book?
Number 82.
All right. So you're talking like probably 1966.
Yeah.
Book. So they came out with this like 10 years later, but Marvel was doing all kinds of reprints from all their heroes, but very, very cool.
All right, next up, number 89. I'm not a big fan of the way the Hulk looks on this cover, but it's got him battling the Stranger, right? First of all, Hulk is looking all sorts of fat and just not very menacing, but a cool cover nonetheless. And then number 90. What's that?
Is that Marie Severin?
I think so.
Because she usually does a really good job with the Hulk.
Yeah, not in this instance. I'm not a big fan. So this book is notable. It's a what?
I'm being a wise ass. I said, does it end in a tie?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
I hope the Hulk wins.
You would think so, right?
Yes.
So here we have a very notable book that the only reason I got it for as cheap as I did is because it's in pretty terrible shape, but it's issue number 90. It's the first appearance of the Abomination. Of course, he's not on the cover. Got Namor on the cover. But his first full issue, okay, is number 91.
And I have the reprint of that one.
You do. You gonna pull it? Is it the same cover?
Same cover, different colors. Want to see, kids? Sure, you do.
Yeah, yep. So here, this is the first big battle between the Hulk and the Abomination, first of absolute many, right? And, again, I think we would see the Abomination become more powerful over time. So this one, obviously, this battle did not end so great for him. Not a big fan of the cover art on this one either. I don't think either one of them is drawn too well. But, I will pop it open for you. Let's see here. This is actual art by Gil Kane. So not a big fan of the cover art by Gil Kane. Not a big fan of Gil's interpretation of the Hulk, actually.
Here's the reprint version.
Your cover is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
In terms of where you really like the colors better.
I just like the way the Abomination looks better in the gray color.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this cover here. I'm actually not a fan of Gil Kane's artwork in this issue at all.
This one.
Yeah, that's basically the same as well.
You still don't like the Hulk in this one either?
Not really, no. Not really.
Hey, look what I found.
What do you got?
I think I found another Jim Starlin cover.
Oh, that quite possibly could be. Yeah.
Yeah. You have this one by any chance?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, you're going to have to go out and get it.
I don't think they do. It's with the Mole Man, right? I don't know what issue that's from, but
that's Mole Man. I can tell you later off the air. I'm not going to look it up now.
Okay.
What number are you up to?
I'm up to number 94.
Okay.
Another Submariner cover, fighting Dragor.
Now that's somebody I don't know of. Dragor. Don't know him.
So this is a great cover. So here he's battling the Plunderer. Of course, if you know the whole Daredevil Khazar story, Khazar, you know, the Plunderer. So this is number 96 killer cover right there. I dig that one a lot.
I just picked that up this year.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
97?
97. I got 97 right here.
You sold me a double of 97.
There you go.
That was the first one in my collection.
And this is a Marie Severin cover, right? Looks like.
Yes. And on the inside.
Yeah. She was very good at doing Hulk, I thought.
I thought so too.
You got one right now you want to show? You got 99?
99. Right here. Again, Marie Severin art.
Yeah.
My favorite three Hulk artists are Herb Trimpe, Sal Buscema, and Marie Severin.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with you on that.
Such a good flair. And I always thought it was her husband, but it's her brother, John Severin. And when we interviewed Joe Sinnott, he told us his favorite artist was John Severin. And what he liked about John was John's ability to do war comics. He said that nobody else could do it quite like John Severin. He had a unique flair. But I thought Marie had a great flair for doing the Hulk. She really made him look like a monster. She was good at the action. I liked what she was doing. And you know, we'll eventually get around to her someday.
There you go.
Anyway, that's the only one I pulled out for today's episode. I only have 4.
These are great. I got to get more.
You
know, it's like I like these a lot. Yeah. Next up, number 100, the last 2. This is a pretty special issue because, of course, they take the 2 stars in the magazine and bring them together. Why not?
Yeah.
And then number 101, where Hulk actually goes to Asgard. And this is the precursor to his first issue, number 102.
And then when he gets to Asgard, they realize that he's not a threat, that he's on a crusade.
Yep. Absolutely.
He's a good guy. The Hulk.
So there you have it. Tales to Astonish. Like Bill said, we both want to get more of these. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but in time, hopefully that will happen because I enjoy these a lot, and these are pretty special.
Mine are more of I have them, but I got them in the reprint style.
There you go. That's a great cover too.
Tales to Astonish.
Yep.
Basically. Again, more eye candy. This one I picked up. I'm surprised you don't have this one in your pile.
Yeah.
You didn't show this one, did you?
No, I did not. That's a good one.
I know you showed this one.
Yep.
Oh, I've shown this one off. I got this within the past 6 or 7 months.
Oh, that's a good one. That's on my list to get that Tales to Astonish one. Yeah.
You're gonna need at least $50.
Yeah, that's a pricey one.
Yeah, it is. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales to Astonish. I'm Wild Bill, your host, saying thanks for being here, as always, and we'll see you next time.
And I am Pete. Stay tuned. We've got some amazing adventures coming at you next, so don't want to miss it. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.